planning a trip to Tasmania, you probably don't need any introduction to Cradle Mountain or this specific 60 Great Short Walk that I'm about to talk about. If you can recognize this view, this hut, this boardwalk, you probably already have picked the pose you're going to pull when you snap a photo right here. My name is Hannah, and my fiance and I challenged ourselves to hike all 60 of Tasmania's 60 Great Short Walks while traveling and working remotely from our cozy caravan. And in no particular order, this is walk number 28 of 60. The Dove Lake Walk is an easygoing 6 kilometers along a boardwalk. It should take you about 2 to 3 hours, depending on how many pictures you snap. And it is considered a grade 3 hike, but I have a feeling that's because it's super popular, it's quite long, and there is just like 1 or 2 short, steep sections. Okay, I have to be really honest with you about 2 things. One, Dove Lake was the very first short walk we did in Tasmania before we had decided that we were going to do all 60 of Tasmania's 60 Great Short Walks. And 2, I suffer from anxiety every now and again, specifically anxiety that comes out of nowhere when I'm hiking. And on this day, that happened. It doesn't need to be a hard walk. It doesn't even need to be like a bad weather day. Sometimes my anxiety just comes out of nowhere. And therefore, that means we didn't film a lot on this track. So you have me. We're going to have a chat and I'm going to tell you all about the Dove Lake hike, even though I don't have a lot to show you. So the walk starts at Dove Lake, obviously, and you're best to get the bus. There's a lot of confusion about how the bus works in Cradle Mountain sometimes. I have a post on my website all about that, but catch the bus to Dove Lake. Get off at the big visitor centre. That big visitors centre-y indoor area is great for viewing the lake if the weather is horrible. Going clockwise or anti-clockwise on this track doesn't really matter. Anti-clockwise is more common. You'll see the boat shed first. You'll go over the first of 2 like tiny steep sections and you'll reach the ballroom, which is at the very far end of the lake, and it's probably the highlight of the lake apart from seeing Cradle Mountain in the distance. The ballroom is like this beautiful rainforest that comes out of nowhere and it's just so tranquil. It's pretty cruisy though. Once you leave the ballroom, you head around the other side of the lake. There's some like sandy beaches that are great for like a snack and a rest. And then your last like viewpoint is just at Glacier Rock. And there you get a really beautiful view of the boat shed from like a different angle. Of the 4 60 Great Short Walks you can do in Cradle Mountain, this one is probably the second easiest. In episode 29, the next episode, I will take you around Cradle Lake, which outside of the summit walk was definitely my favorite. It was magical and a lot quieter than some of the more popular walks. And then there's Enchanted Walk, which is just a breeze and it's so beautiful. And that will be episode 30, our halfway point. So follow along and you'll catch all of those.